Okay. So in the last class, we have discussed like when you have a super class, let's assume I have a class called parent, right? When you have a class called parent, and then we are having another class called child. Okay. So now these right now both classes have a method called M1, right? And let me have here a return type void right now. Okay. In child also we are having a void M1. Okay. So right now this is a separate class. This is a no relationship is there, so it's fine. It's not method overriding and all. We are not overriding any method because there is no relation, right? So what is method overriding? When a subclass try to have a similar method which parents class have, same everything same parameter, return type, uh, parameter, order, name, everything. So in that case we call it method overriding. And we how we achieve it? We achieve it by extending parents class. Okay. So now this is called method. This is just okay. Let me write down here system.out.println. So we call it parent M1. Okay. And now we will have here child M1. Okay. Okay. Let me create a object of child. Okay. Now system.out.println. Okay. So obj dot. So now what output we will get? 1 second. Okay. What output we will get? Any guess?
We'll get child M1.
Okay. We'll get the child M1. Let me see like what we'll get. Okay. So we are getting child M1. Fine. Okay. Now, what output we'll get?
Parent M1.
Any guess, Kritika?
Parent.
I think the child method will.
Okay. Okay, let me see. So child M1. So always remember this one. This. Okay. This is the object, right? So always remember a child object can be assigned to parent object. Okay. A child object can be assigned to a parent object. Sorry, parent reference. Okay. A child object can be assigned to a parent reference. That you should always remember. Okay. So parent can take care of children in real life, but children cannot take care of parents, right? In similar way, in Java also, a parent reference can take care of child object. Okay. So this is the case. So now here, let me go with the parent object. Okay. So now if I use the parents object, right? So what will be the output? Parent M1. So that is the you remember I said that in OOPS concept where where class are close to modification. If you want to have a different implementation, if you want to update the existing implementation, what you used to do is to create a class, extend the parent class, and then create the similar method, change the implementation, right? So I've changed the implementation, and I am having a parent reference and creating and passing, sorry, I'm using the child object to invoke this method, which is I have overridden, right? So till now it's clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So now the second point that we have discussed yesterday, in subclass method and parent class method, type, order and number must be same as superclass. So right now name is same. If I give here int a, so is it overridden or not?
No,
No,
I think that has to be same.
it's
The
has,
parameter.
yes. The parameter, the signature should be same. This is a mandatory check. Okay. Return type and all somehow up down, public modifier is might be up down change, but signature always match. Okay. Okay. So what happen if I have double here? Double D. In that case, is it overridden? No. Right? But it's have to be int. In this case, it's overridden. So parameter is same. Okay. Then we'll do string int D, and then we have string name. And here we will have string n. So is it overridden?
Oh, yes.
How?
For the position.
Yes. The order also important, right? Order. So see here, what is the first argument here? Int, right? What is the first argument here? String. The order is changed, right? The order is changed, right? This is not in correct order, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday, second point I've said type, order, and number. So type is fine. It's a int, it's a int. String itself, but order is different. So it's not overridden. Okay. It's just a normal method. So what we have to do? We have to remove this from here to override this method. And we have to do this. Now it's overridden or not? It's overridden. Clear? Clear,
Okay.
Kritika? So,
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah.
yeah. So order of argument should be same in the subclass method which we have override. Data type should be same. Argument number should be same. So let us assume order is same. Now it's going to have one extra argument. Float D. Sorry, float D. Is it overridden or not?
No, it won't override.
Because it's having a different number of argument, right? So it's won't override. Clear till here?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. So now the third point. You remember the subclass method return must be a same as superclass method return type, right? So if superclass returning void, can subclass return int? Let me check. So what it's saying? Okay, to add a method. Oh, 1 second. Int. Let me add a return statement. 1. No, I don't want to make it. I want to make it return 1 only. Okay. So what it's saying, the return type must be same if you want to override the method. Okay. Understand?
Yes.
Okay. So now as I'm using, right? So see here I'm getting error, right? What error I'm getting? If you are overriding it, make sure the return type should be same. Okay. So either I have to make this one void, either I have to make this one int. Okay. Okay. There is another point. If a superclass method return type is a class type. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me remove this. Return type should be same. That is the main point. Okay. Now, yesterday you remember I was explaining one thing. Let assume there is a class called A. Okay. And there is a class called B. You guys remember, right? Which A, B extend A. Only straightforward, simple implementation. Further we'll see. So let's assume now this method, this is void and this is void. This method is overridden, right? M1 is overridden. So if parent class method M1 return type I'm returning here new A. Okay. So I'm returning here A, right? So what in yesterday already we have discussed, if parent class method return a class type, then child class is going to return the same class or subclass of that. Remember,
Yeah, it can return B also, yeah. The B
yes,
class.
it can return B class also. Here you can have new. What is the reason? As we know that a parent class reference can hold child class object. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so you guys are able to understand the basic method overloading rules, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Any question, Nimai?
No way. No.
Okay. Now the another point related to access modifier. Okay. So what is access modifier? Access modifier restrict the scope of the method, class, and variables. So let me use here. If parent class use public, what in child class we can use?
Public.
Public. Always less restrictor. Whatever you are using, less restrictor than that. Clear? Okay. If parent class is using protected, if parent class is using protected, what child class can use? Less
Public
restrictor.
protected.
Public or protected. So I'm using public, which is fine, right? Okay. If parent class is using default, no need to write. Okay. If parent class is using default, we can have public, we cannot have anything, and we can have protected. Fine? Clear? Okay. What happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
Parent class is private. If parent class is private, child class can use private, default, protected, anything, but it's not overridden. Okay, it's just a normal method. See, this is not overridden. Okay, clear? Clear to you all this point?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah,
Okay, so now, okay, this is fine. I'm creating another static method. Okay, so let assume I am going to have a public static void sum. Okay, so now I'm going to have another here. So you remember a point I discussed yesterday? What it's saying? Instance method in method overloading child cannot override static method. So in yesterday I already discussed instance method you can only override as instance method. Static method you can only override as static method. So here I am having sum as a static method. So if I want to override, I cannot override with the instance method. What I have to do? I have to use static only. Okay.
make the static.
Clear? Clear this point to you all, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Let assume I will define another method. Okay, let me copy and paste. So right now we are just going through the points and then we'll have some program as well. So I am just removing static here. Okay, and I'm having here sub. So this is the instance method, right? It's not doesn't have a static keyword directly in class scope, so it's have an instance method. Can I override as a static? Let me check. I can override this. See, this is a overridden symbol, override method in parent. This is the symbol of when you override a method. Okay, so let me make it public static and see what error we are getting. What it's saying? It's saying a static method sub. So static method you can only override as static, instance method you can only override as instance method. Clear to you all?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, and there is a point. Okay, there is a point which is related to exception handling, which I'm not taking care right now. Okay. 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 Now we'll see. Oh, 1 second. I think there is a error. Let me comment this out. Let me create another. This is, we cover all the points. Let me have another method. Sorry, another class. Okay. So now let me define a class called. I will define class P as parent and C as child. Okay. Class P and class C. Okay. Now C is a C stand for child. C extend P. Okay. Okay. So now let me have a public number print return 15. Okay. Now let me copy this. Integer. Okay. So what happen usually when you go for any interview, right? So you know that return type should be same. You remember, right? Parent class, super class relation, you remember, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So you remember parents class and subclass, right? So what
Yeah.
happened? Like interviewer will write like this. And interviewer will ask, can this allowed? Is it possible to write like this? So what will be your answer? You can say that this is called covariant return type. What is this?
Okay.
This is called covariant return type. This is similar to parent class developer relation. Okay. Okay, so this is allowed. Okay, if anyone write like this, you'll say it's allowed. Okay. Okay, now let me go to the integer first. Okay, now you see I'm in integer class, right? So you see that integer is a final class, right? Who is a super class of integer? Who is a super class of integer here?
Number.
Number. So you remember the last point that I've discussed, like not the last point, I think third or second point, right? If parents class is returning, let us assume a parent class method is returning a class, a child class can return a similar class or subclass of that class, right?
Yeah. Yes.
This one, 1 second. Let me go to that.
Yes. The A and B.
This is B, right? On top, I am returning A,
Yeah.
right?
That's A.
And they are having A and B relations. Similar thing I am doing over there. The only thing is that you will get confused. Why you will get confused? You will get confused because they will use number and integer. So you will treat them like a different data type. Okay. This is called covariant return type. Okay. This whatever I explain that we call it covariant return type. Access modifier rule, which is clear to you all, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay. Now, one more thing that I have to cover. Let me let take one example. If I make it final public, so you all remember, right? If you make a final, if you use a final keyword for member, let us assume any member of the class is final, you cannot override that member. That is clear. So final method cannot be overridden. Kritika,
Yeah, भैया.
why?
Yeah.
Because why? Because
Yeah.
final, yeah, why? Because final keyword are designed to prevent any further modification to class or property. Understand?
Okay.
Okay. So if you use final in superclass, any of the member, those class or variable or data members will not get overridden, not get extended in subclass. Okay. Okay. Now exception handling, anyhow, we'll do that. Now, most usually what happen, you see, like we are overriding method, we are overriding other properties and all, right? Let me remove this finally. You guys have to remember that one. Okay. I have started recording, right?
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay. Second. Okay. So now you got a clear idea. Okay. So usually what happens, some student come and they say, okay, there is a class P. So there is a method, this, right? This is called constructor, right? So they say, can we override constructor? So what will be your answer?
Um,
Can we override constructor?
I
No, we cannot override a constructor. The reason is constructor are not inherited in Java. Constructor are not inherited in Java. Constructor, you cannot inherit constructor. You can inherit everything from your parents, but you cannot inherit the way your parents got created, right? If you inherit that, a child can modify the construction of their parent, right? That is not possible. So that is the reason in Java you cannot override constructor. Clear?
okay.
Usually what happen when you go, okay, I know method overloading, loading. So what will happen? The interviewer will say, okay, method overloading is clear. And then we'll do one thing. So they say, what? Can you tell me how to override constructor? They will directly ask you how to override a constructor. Simply say, Java constructor are not got inherited. So if anything which is not got inherited, right, it will not get overridden, right?
So with inheritance comes inside the overridden cannot be done, right? That's what you said.
Yes, if anything which is not participate in inheritance cannot be overridden.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you see the example, like when you start method overriding, what I said, it's always we can override a method in the context of inheritance. I'm always taking a class, superclass and parents class, and then I'm having a property in parent class with a similar name. I'm creating a property in child class, right? Order and all, everything is same. In that way, we are overriding it, correct? Okay. Okay. And private method, final are not final method, private method will not get overridden, which you should be clear every time anyone asks constructor, private method, what we call uh, final method and constructor, these three things you cannot override. Okay, this is fine, you all understand. We'll move to next point. Okay, now let us assume I have a parents class, I have a child class here. Okay, let me define a method called print here. Void print, let me print. Now you guys have to answer what is this, why is saying print. Okay, I have taken this name already. Print data, print s. Okay, I'm just taking printers. System.out.println. I'm having super printers called. This is super. Okay, let me take this one. This is my child class, right? I pasted here, and I'm call it is child printers. Okay. Now you guys remember super keyword. Super keyword you guys remember,
Yes.
right? So what it does?
It calls the method from the parent class
Yes, it's called
or
not
the
method. If you want to access anything from the parent class,
yeah, anything
right?
parameters. Yeah. Sorry, any
Into
functionality.
okay, in any immediate child class. So in that case, you can use super keyword, right? Okay. So now take example. Interviewer will give you like this scenario. So interviewer will say there is a method called printf in child. The similar method we have printf in super, right? Now what I will do here, I will use. I can use super keyword right here, and I can call that super class method, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm calling right now super class method. Okay. Now this is child class. I'm going into the main class, creating a child class object. C obj equal to new. Clear? Now if I call obj dot printf, which method will get called? This one,
Um,
right?
this
The child
method,
class.
yeah.
So always
Child.
always go to this reference. This is child reference, child object, then child. Okay. Now I'm printing this one. Okay, let me see what we are getting it. Super print called, child print called. Why? Why we are getting this output? So we'll go to child print. So first we are calling super, we are calling super method. So that is the reason it's got print. Now child. Clear about super?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Private method we cannot override. Okay. Now there is a concept which is related to this hash code and what do we call? There is another point which we will learn further. Okay. Okay. So till now everything is clear. All the rules, whatever rules you guys can face in method overriding, I already teach all of them. Only related to exception I have not teach you. Okay. Other than everything, and there is a thing called default method, okay, which is a context of this, which is also a part of Java 8. So no need to teach right now. In Java 8 feature I will teach you. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
now
Okay.
okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now yeah, so now we
Yeah.
done a method overriding. There is a concept called polymorphism. Okay, so polymorphism, everything is going to be same. It's mostly a definition and a little bit of discussion and implementation we'll see. Okay, so what happened? So right now I have created a, see, I have created child class object, right? I'm calling this method printf, right? Okay, so what I will do is I will create a parent class. Okay, object p, and then I'm calling s. What output will get?
The same.
The same. No, why I will get the same?
Because since it is the
Yes,
object is created
correct.
for P,
Yes,
so it
correct.
calls the child method, right?
Yes. So see what is happening. Dynamically, we are assigning a child class object to a parent class, a child class object to a parent class reference, and we are calling it. Okay, this is called dynamic polymorphism. Okay. Okay, this is called, this is a process, we call it dynamic polymorphism. Okay. Clear? So polymorphism only work on instance when you are overriding instance method, right? In that case only it work. Okay, static method it cannot work. Okay, clear? So polymorphism, what is polymorphism? All we'll discuss in deep details. But right now you remember when you are assigning a super. Let us assume how I am invoking this one. I am parent class reference child class object. So it will when I call it, it will print this. Okay, in future, let us assume in next line obj equal to new p, right? And then someone called obj dot print s. So what output will get it here? So in this one we'll print c. We'll go to c, we'll see. So it will get printed this first super statement. What is the super statement? Super print called. What is the child statement? Child print called, right? Okay. Then a new object will get assigned. Then we are calling print. So it will go to parent. It will be super print. Total 3 statement. Let me print this. Super print class, child print class, super print class. How? Already explained. Any doubt in that? You guys can ask.
So for no doubt.
So far, no doubt. Anyone else like Sushant, Poonam, Nimai?
No way.
No.
Fine. So we already accomplished this method overloading. Okay. There are other things like there are more practice that we're supposed to do, which is related to polymorphism. So there are we'll discuss a chapter called polymorphism. Before that, we have to discuss dynamic method dispatch. Okay. So in the next class, we'll discuss dynamic method dispatch and runtime polymorphism, static polymorphism, which we already know that. Only thing we learned the concept, implementation we already did. Method overloading is a static polymorphism. Method overriding is dynamic polymorphism. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we done for today. In tomorrow class, again we'll connect. Okay, because in less than 5 minutes, if I start also, will not finish it up. Okay. So method overriding is done. Dynamic method dispatch and this polymorphism will discuss tomorrow. And once we're done with that, we'll done with everything related to method overloading and overriding. Okay. Basically, we are learning right now polymorphism. Okay. Right now we are learning that. But first we have to learn overriding, overloading, and then we'll go to the polymorphism concept in detail. Then you guys can understand. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chalo. Then I'm going to stop this class. Probably we'll connect tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
See you tomorrow.